really happy that the movie is coming back. The show is coming back as a movie daughter. How was it getting back into it?
It's a dream. It felt like coming home in a lot of ways. Obviously missing Tim, but it was almost weird how natural it felt. It was like 4 years had gone by, but like for us, because we wrapped before the show stopped airing, so for us it was almost 4 years that we had been doing it, and we've all been doing so many other things, and yet it was like, oh, here we are. But I think we've all kept up our friendships and everything in real life as well, so I think that kind of helped it to sort of like, here we go, we're gonna now do this. So, God, it was so much fun. We had so much fun.
And of course, it was spoiled that you have a new partner. So
Yeah.
is there something you can tell us about that?
What happened?
I'm like, I've been so nervous. They gave us like this breakdown of like what we can and can't say. Yeah. And of course I just looked at what I can't say, and now it's all I can think about saying. Because I'm like, so I'm just like, don't say that, and it's gonna be like the one thing I say. I do have a new partner. Since Kirsten already said that, it'll be on her. You can't. Do you know Sam Huntington? Yeah.
Yes.
So
Excellent.
he's wonderful. He's such a dream to work with. He's such a good guy. He's so funny. We had a great time. So yes.
And even though it's the old team, does he play a pretty big role in the new movie?
We were just trying to. You guys are really trying. Everyone has like had these ways of like asking questions where I'm like, oh wait a second. Well, he's my partner, so, and I'm in a lot of the movie.
We'll draw our own conclusions.
And what's his dynamic like, Jules, in comparison to Jules and Lassiter?
I would say Jules and Lassiter had a long time to like sort of develop this like trust and respect and like an emotional, like honestly, like I would die for you kind of thing, which is funny because Tim and I are kind of like that in real life, but like I would say that because this is a new relationship, there is like almost like a lightness maybe, or like a little more like playful, because Lassiter was so serious, which I think over time is what we loved about the characters that I loved about it, was that he really, it had to be that way for I think my character to go the way that I did. I also think that the payoff of our friendship and love for each other was like that much greater because of it. So yeah, I would just say maybe a little lighter, but it's still my partner. So yeah.
And what about Jules and Sean? What's going on there?
Yeah. Yep. I asked earlier what I could say, and they said that Sean and Juliet's relationship has progressed. Yeah. I know you wanted to know that. So
It's funny that it's so secretive as far as what's coming, because I feel like when we were talking about the show and its airing, there wasn't as much you really had to keep to the rest, but there were huge surprises that like you weren't spoiling, and now with the movie it's like a whole different world. We don't want to know anything, but we want to know everything.
oh yeah, I understand that, and I think with the show, even by the time, like the first time we did Comic-Con, the show had been on for I think a few years, so there was already enough we could talk about. This is like a whole new world, and as Steve said earlier, I don't know if you guys were at the panel, but that he wants to make like 6 of these that we're all in for. So I think as just like the series, I think as these movies progress, hopefully we'll be able to progress. There's that word again. We'll be able to have more to sort of draw from, because there's a shift. I mean, time has passed. We're older, like so. Now we will be going in this direction. Hopefully, we can talk more next year.
And going back to what you were saying about your partner and everything, obviously with Lassiter, you were the newer, younger partner. Is it shifted now that Juliet's had a lot of experience in the field, and like, do you have a different dynamic in that sense overall with the partner?
I would say that's a good question, and I'm going to answer it the best way I can, which is I do think that there is like a maturity relationship with the chief, who is my chief here as well. But like, I think that that relationship has evolved, and we've gone to next levels. So yeah, I would say like there's a maturity, maybe like a depth and a groundedness that I'm not the younger newbie anymore, or like the junior detective. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I just did, so I think it's okay.
That's why we love talking to you.
Yeah.
What else is on the list that you're not supposed to talk about?
She just straight
No,
out.
I thought that really worked before. It has.
I'm sure.
It has.
Well, these things can be a little nerve-wracking, right? So like you would get nervous, like if I were like, yeah, and I would just be like, what do you mean that thing that I'm not supposed to talk about? Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5.
Well, I know you can talk a little bit because other people have been about how it is to work with new cast members. So
Yeah.
maybe talk a little bit about, coming back as the show to the movie, but with the new cast, and also, of course, very likely is somehow around.
Somehow. It was so much fun to have as many familiar faces back, but there's also this, I don't know, sort of like adapting to new energies that come in, and exactly why you guys know he is so good. He's so good in it, and he adds a lot to it. Sam is another, I mean, like he's so great. Stop there, it shifts the whole vibe a little bit. So you're even we're different with these people, and I think that's what keeps that. We have to, as much as we love bringing all of our favorites back, for the show to continue, the movies to continue, it's nice to sort of bring in these other people to even have us. I don't want to say progressive. You said that enough. It's fun though. It was really fun for us.
Since we're not spoiling things, that's great. So what about a favorite bit that got cut, so we won't be seeing it, or a favorite behind the scenes moment you had while filming?
I haven't seen it fully cut together yet.
Okay.
So I can't say for sure what's in or what's out. Every day there was a behind the scenes moment, I swear. I mean, we had a lot of our original crew back. So we have a lot of inside jokes with the crew. It was just nonstop. I'm trying to think of one in particular. But watching Dulé and his snacks is always a really fun adventure. It was nice to come back to that.
I feel like he and Robert Downey Jr. just need to hang out on set all the time.
Oh, does he like that?
Squirrel snacks around the set and eats them all the time.
Oh my gosh.
So they would be besties on whatever they filmed.
That's really funny. Dulé is like he just can sense when someone's getting close to his sandwich from like across the room, and he's like, before you can even you're like, where did you come from? How did you know?
Yeah, it's his real life super sniffer. That's what it is.
It is his real life super sniffer. See, I talk about the writers taking like stuff from our own lives and putting them in the show.
So there's other stuff you've been working on, obviously. Was there any mental or physical or anything prep you had to do to get back into the whole, Juliet role, or?
No, not really. I mean, it was sort of like, I think Kirsten talked about this earlier, getting into wardrobe, getting into, like, once I read the script, it was interesting because, other things I've been working on, I'm forgetting what I was doing right before then, but it's a different animal because it's a comedy, but there's a lot of drama in it too, and so it was new. It was definitely so creators different.
Yes.
It was familiar, but also like, holy shit, I forgot how hard this is when I put heels on and had to like run.
I remember we talked about that, like the last press run we did.
Because it's real. It's a not easy thing my character does that I do. So it was like, that happened. And I was like, oh, I forgot. I forgot how difficult this is. So maybe I should have prepped. You saw the prep video that James and Julie did to get into their characters. I probably should have.
And yours was you running out.
That's it. That's it. And I should have done more of it.
So, movie takes place 3 years later. What was your reaction when you read Jules' part? Like, were you excited at where she was 3 years later, or were you kind of like surprised, disappointed?
I was surprised in a good way, and really excited to get to play this version of my character. It's different, and it was really fun. I wish I could say more. But no, I was over the moon. I was actually on another set working, and I got it, and I couldn't stop reading. Like, I was so excited to read it that I just opened it up on my phone. So I'm literally like reading it like this. And I think I almost read it start to finish in between takes on another show, which is probably not great. Yeah, I should have done that. But it was that good, and I was that excited to read it. So, and I was really happy. Am I being whisked away? Do you guys feel? Do you have any questions?
I don't think there's any that you can answer, unfortunately.
Isn't it awful? Isn't it like...
Okay, but here's one though. So it is, like you said, it is comedy, we all know. But there's also the drama. And,
Yeah.
and, you know, I've always kind of considered Jules as like the heart of the show, really. So were there any particularly dramatic scenes, or like you said, you read through it really quickly, is there anything that was like really surprised you in terms of impact that we can look for?
Yes.
Does it include more than just Julie? Are there more characters involved?
There are more... I'm going to get emotional just talking about it. So,
Okay, all right, that kind of answers it.
yes, and it does involve another character. You'll know when you see the movie.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
we're getting like different ones.
it was my
pieces.
first day of shooting, I'll say that.
Okay.
Was there something that you wanted to see for Juliet? Were those things in there when you were reading this?
You know, I didn't have to say anything. I think what I wanted to see with the character was just with the time that had passed, that maturity I was sort of talking about, that like I wanted them to bring that into it, that, you know, she's sort of gone from girl to woman. I'm totally talking about myself right now. But like, you know, I grew up on that show in a lot of ways, and so I think the character has as well, and I really wanted to see that, and I couldn't have asked for a better version of it.
And there's 7 more coming, right?
10.
Oh, I see.
15.
I mean,
Excellent. We're here.
yeah. Anyone else?
One last question.
Just because I want to make sure everybody got to ask if they wanted.
I'll ask. I'm always asking, like, favorite scene that a pineapple shows up in.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Favorite scene you've got a pineapple shows up in, or anything like that, or favorite little inside thing.
Oh gosh. Oh, we have so many inside things. Favorite pineapple bit. I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I had. This is the stuff that you guys know sometimes. That like I'll be like, I don't even remember that. And you guys know. I'm pretty sure I had a pineapple necklace or earrings on. In one episode, it was a while ago, and I remember thinking it was really clever, and I wonder if anyone caught it.
Very subtle.
And they did. Very subtle, yes. That would probably be my favorite hidden pineapple thing.
That's a good one.
Yeah.